we got some major fight announcements, an eventful day for fight fans. All right. Dana White doing us right, and I'm happy to hear it. First things first, heavyweight championship. Finally, Tom Aspinall will defend the heavyweight belt against Cyril Gane. This will be his first fight as the undisputed champion, and we're moving on from this John Jones debacle and the most stalled heavyweight division we've ever seen. I mean, the 2020s for heavyweight, sure, we've had the Beast of Ngannou and the, John Jones return to become a heavyweight champ. But we've had so much time in the middle of all these damn fights, delay after delay after the delay. Finally, we see the heavyweight belt on the line, and it's a matchup between Tom Aspinall, many people's real heavyweight champ, and Cyril Gane, who's kind of just the check mark you have to get past to become a heavyweight champion. He's lost to the two previous heavyweight champs, John Jones and Francis Ngannou. And to make it legit for Aspinall, a win over Gane here is a must. We also got another championship fight announcement. This is huge. Magomed Ankalaev, Alex Pereira 2, an attempt for Ankalaev to rinse and repeat badass 320 main event, but that's not all for 320. The heavyweight fight is 321. 320 is stacked. Look at this co-main event. Merab Divalishvili, Corey Sandhagen, bantamweight belt, Yuri Prochazka and Khalil. Thank you, UFC. Thank you. I wanted this fight so bad. So bad. It's an intriguing matchup of styles, and I'm going to get into it. I'm actually going to give you guys my early predictions and, reactions to all of these fights, but I am grateful as a fan that today we have such big news in the game and fights that have me like salivating at the bit. It feels like we're back in the UFC prime. I was preaching on this after we had a horrible month of May. I said, trust me, June is going to start to turn things over. And for the next, final half of the year, I promise the UFC will be peak again. The first half normally starts a little slow. This year is slower than ever, at least slower than in a long time. But to close out 2025, the UFC is peak again. And I feel very blessed. All right. First thing I want to do, I want to talk Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. Now, I feel like it was a weird circumstance with John Jones just kind of playing with the fans and even playing with Tom Aspinall's emotions, bait and switch. Like, yeah, I'm going to do the fight. And then he goes to Thailand and pulls out. I mean, Dana White says that John Jones was in on the fight against Tom Aspinall. Then he goes to Thailand and he's like, I take it back. I'm retiring from MMA. And then a week and a half later, it's like, no, I'm making a comeback. I want to fight at the White House. And even Dana White is saying, John's not reliable enough for that. It's unfortunate, though, because if he was reliable and if we could get an absolute yes that John Jones would fight, if Aspinall's to win here, I could see them holding him off to that White House card and putting that as a badass main event, like England versus USA, heavyweight belt on the line in the White House. That's something out of like a weird sci-fi movie. But let's focus on the fight at hand. As much as it's easy to look past Cyril Gane, and yes, he's at a big deficit in the matchup, and I'm under the assumption he's going to get beaten. I'm picking Aspinall. Cyril Gane's still a very capable striker. The grappling defense against John Jones, I would say, was downright abysmal, and he's shown low fight IQ moves, specifically in the grappling department in previous fights. We saw him pull the leg lock attempt, trying to lock up a heel hook against Francis Ngannou, obviously sold the fight with that in a competitive fight otherwise. And then we saw last time he fought Volkov and he won a controversial decision. Volkov grappled him up come round number 3 and was doing well on the feet. I thought you could have gave it to Volkov. Gane escaped with a win, and now he's getting blessed with a title fight. But to be fair, the former interim champ, Cyril Gane, is definitely in, more of an opponent position. And Aspinall gets the biggest fight of his life because it is for the real belt. And, he's the defending champ, even though he's never won an undisputed belt in competition, getting promoted to it. This is like his real chance to win that title, and solidify the championship. And I think it's not about just beating Cyril Gane. It's beating him in an impressive manner. John Jones beat him easily. I don't presume that, Aspinall beats him as quickly. Maybe. I mean, he could. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it could be a little more of a drawn out fight. ultimately Aspinall has a major advantage on the ground. He can take Aspinall down, excuse me, he can take Gane down, and Aspinall, I think, can threaten with nasty submissions. I mean, you saw what he did to Volkov on the ground. Sure, it was a few years ago, but he made it look easy with the straight arm lock. Could he not take down Cyril Gane and submit him in the first round? Where things get interesting is the striking. Gane very light on his feet. He's a good kickboxer, the Muay Thai base, but more of like a quick-footed striker that moves. I mean, in his prime, they would say he moved like a middleweight. I still think he's fast. Aspinall, better boxer. Aspinall, heavier puncher. Cyril Gane's still got a decent chin on him, though. It's not like Cyril Gane's getting dusted left and right in striking fights. His kickboxing is legit. If it's on the ground, Aspinall is levels above the grappling game. And I think that Gane even showed it last time with Volkov. His improvements haven't been vast enough to make me any bit confident in him being able to survive a fight on the ground with Tom Aspinall. On the feet, maybe you could have moments. I think Aspinall's power is a factor, but there is a hitability with Tom Aspinall. I could see Gane touching him. But I think Aspinall's going to get this fight to the ground. I think he should get this fight to the ground. Take Gane where he's at his weakest. Take him to the mat, wear on him a bit, and then work towards a submission, maybe a rear naked choke. I don't think he's going to lock up the power gilly like John Jones was able to. I don't know if he's hitting an arm triangle because Gane's pretty physically strong. I can see Aspinall taking a little bit longer to get him out of there, but controlling him on the ground, passing, showing some dominance in the grappling position. Something tells me it's not going to be as easy as John Jones made it look. But I do think Aspinall's live for a submission finish in the first 3 rounds. So I'm going to pick Aspinall to win. I think that Cyril Gane is a good first championship test for the new champ in Aspinall. And after that, I would assume the Gel 10 Almeida Volkov winner is probably next. They're going to be fighting soon. I think they're actually fighting on this same card. So that seems like a pretty set in stone #1 contender fight. This is like a worst case scenario thought. Can you imagine Cyril Gane beats Tom Aspinall's ass? Aspinall can't take him down and Gane just tunes him up on the feet and knocks him out. Like the heavyweight division is dead at this point. There is supposed to be mystique around heavyweight, okay? Because the heavyweight championship is not just a belt. It's the baddest man on the planet. And without the UFC keeping the heavyweight ball rolling, I think there is a bit of a negative impact on even the weight classes below. I think bringing the heavyweight belt back is huge. I think in Abu Dhabi, it's going to be cool. It's a huge event. There's going to be a lot of fun fights. I'm assuming on the card, 320 stacked, 321 is stacked. It seems like October is the fucking month of the fight fan. Holy hell. Yeah, October is about to be a special month with 2 banging pay-per-views and Aspinall versus Gane with the heavyweight championship. It makes me feel happy, okay? We need heavyweight titles on the line. We need heavyweight championship fights. Aspinall with a clear path to victory is the obvious pick, and he's going to be a huge favorite, and he should definitely win. I doubt the Jones fight happens, but then I'm like, maybe though. Maybe. I still want the Jones fight. I'm just not so sure John Jones wants it. But maybe if Aspinall shows some flaws against Cyril Gane, I've said it. I think the mentality with Jones is I want to see more tape on him. He can watch some more tape on him. He can find the hole and then maybe look to exploit that if they end up fighting. So we'll see how long this fight lasts. I definitely think Aspinall's live for a finish in the first 3 rounds. And I'll say submission here for Aspinall. I don't think he's knocking Gane out. I think he gets him to the ground and shows levels. Next up, Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira 2. They run it back at this stacked UFC 320 card. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm picking Magomed Ankalaev again. I picked him the first time. And, you know, I've been a Pereira fan for a long time, and I've been backing Pereira, and people were upset that I was going against him. But Ankalaev can box. He can grapple. He's quick. He times his shots well. He walks people down. He does everything at an elite level. And it makes a lot of sense that he was able to outwork Alex Pereira over a hard 5-round fight. I mean, he made Pereira gun shy. The grappling wasn't what Magomed Ankalaev needed to showcase in the fight. What he did was he outstruck Pereira. He was too quick on the feet. And the threat of the grappling potentially inhibited Alex Pereira's offensive output in the fight. I think Magomed Ankalaev does something similar the second time that they run it. Of course, Pereira, I feel like, has to throw caution to the wind at some point. But I could see him stung bad by Magomed Ankalaev. I'm telling you guys right now, Magomed is a legit ass boxer. Like Magomed right now could go compete in boxing at a high level. And I think that something that's overlooked about Magomed Ankalaev by more casual fans is just how good he is with his hands. I've always felt Ankalaev is crisp with his punches, and I think he's getting smoother as time goes on. And we've seen Ankalaev already beat Pereira. What's going to change? What's going to change? Okay, what could change? Well, Alex Pereira could land a huge shot that flatline KOs Magomed Ankalaev. So you have puncher's chance for Alex Pereira versus the definite ability that Magomed Ankalaev can beat Pereira over 5 rounds and outbox him. Pereira needs one shot. Ankalaev could also land that one shot and get a knockout. I don't like the chances for Pereira to win this rematch. I didn't like his chances the first time. Ankalaev already figured Pereira out, and this is when Pereira still had the mystique of being on the tear that he was on. Now it's a man who already lost, was frustrated, maybe some excuses post-fight, but it is what it is. Magomed Ankalaev is the sharper fighter. He's the sharper boxer. The boxing's still going to be better. The threat of grappling still a factor. And I think the fight looks similar to the first one, but maybe Ankalaev lands bigger shots and has better moments. A finish for Ankalaev, I'm sure, is what he wants, but daunting task for sure. Pereira's durable. Pereira's dangerous. Pereira's one of the best in the world. And if Pereira wins, it's probably, better for the UFC because they'd have Pereira jump up to heavyweight maybe and do a super fight, like bring Pereira at the White House versus Aspinall potentially for the heavyweight championship. That would be one of the biggest fights of all time. So I think they are hoping Pereira finds Ankalaev's chin, but I can't make a pick based on hope. My breakdown tells me, my analysis is similar to last time, but Ankalaev already knows how to beat Pereira. He's sharper at boxing at this point. He's faster with his combos. I get it. Pereira's got the terrifying one-punch power, but I think Ankalaev bit better timing. And I think he's going to do something similar to last time. So I'm going Ankalaev again. Maybe he wins this one by TKO and he stops Pereira. That would be huge for Ankalaev, but I'll lean towards a decision when they run it back. Let's keep running through. We got Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen. This is such a good fight because it's new too. I'm sick of the thought of, oh, we're going to do a rematch in here. We did O'Malley. Nah. Corey Sandhagen finally getting his chance at gold. Listen, Corey is a really clean striker. He has a nice flow state that he enters with his kickboxing. He's dangerous with his attacks. His knees are powerful. His kicks are sharp. His elbows are a factor. He's going to have a height and reach advantage in this fight. The issue is Morab is the literal machine, and he just doesn't stop with the takedowns. He's not going to stop, and his striking is actually pretty good too. I feel as though Merab's striking is, considered on the weaker side, but I've actually felt it's gotten better. And I think that he could land shots on Corey Sandhagen. And I think Sandhagen's going to struggle with Merab's pressure-based striking and then into takedowns. I think Merab's punches can definitely set up takedowns here. I think he's too much of a problem with the cardio. I think he's too much of a problem with the consistent wrestling pressure. I think he's too strong physically on the ground. I see him winning the scrambles and the grappling all night. I see him forcing Corey Sandhagen into compromised and uncomfortable positions, essentially on the regular. I think it's going to be more rinse and repeat of what we know about Merab. And I say he outworks Corey. Corey's a fun striker, though. And his ground skills are legit, but it's Merab, though. His ground skills are good, but it's against Merab. That kind of negates how good you are on the ground. And I see Merab kind of putting a pace on him and outworking him. Corey maybe looking for that big knee at times as Merab shooting. Does he have a chance of a fluke KO? I mean, shit, there's always a chance. But I think Merab Dvalishvili drags this fight to the deep waters. And I think he beats up Sandhagen on the ground, controls a bit, takes him down. And even if he fails 10 takedowns, he'll shoot, 30. And I'm sure that he'll land some of them. You know what I'm saying? So I expect Merab to just be too relentless with his gas tank and the ability to wrestle all night. Like, I don't think Sandhagen is going to get, at least not for significant amounts of time, I don't think he's going to get enough time to strike. I don't think he's going to get enough time to set up power shots, and not necessarily a power puncher anyways, a precision kickboxer and dangerous with his creative striking attack. But I don't see Sandhagen just able to tee off on Merab from distance. I don't see him blitzing him with big punches. I see him getting taken down and controlled a lot. I see him getting backed up a lot in this fight. I see him getting hit a lot in this fight. And I think Merab outworks him. Probably a unanimous decision, but who's to say that Merab doesn't go out and get another finish after what he just did with O'Malley? So, yeah, I'm going Merab to get it done as expected. Now, this one, Yuri Prochazka and Khalil Roundtree, this is a perfect fight. It is. It's a battle of the samurai striking style, the traditionalist martial arts flow and the crazy unorthodox attack that Yuri brings, which just doesn't make sense, versus Khalil Roundtree, who's become a true representative of MMA Muay Thai. His stand up game is very clean. Kicks are incredibly powerful, has big power in his punches as well. I mean, he's dangerous in all areas of striking, and he looked really good against Jamal Hill and pitched a shutout essentially against Jamal, dropping him on multiple occasions. He was able to keep a calculated pace and pick him apart for the majority of the fight. Yuri Prochazka brings a bit more of the chaotic striking attack, which makes for an interesting threat to what Khalil does best because he's perfect by the book in some senses, whereas Prochazka isn't the book. The book doesn't exist for Prochazka. He does have really good rhythm and head movement, but a very awkward striking style and a chaotic striking style. I'm thinking about this matchup and I'm like, I could see Roundtree landing big kicks in the fight. I could see him catching Prochazka, but I could also see Prochazka's head movement as a factor. And I could see him hitting Roundtree with heavy, wide punches and awkward strikes. My God. Making a pick on this fight right now, I'll be honest, I didn't come in, with a pick in mind. I came in with, I'm going to talk about the fight as it is and then see if a pick comes to me. I could see Roundtree winning a 3-round decision. I could see Roundtree landing cleaner shots, but then I could also see Khalil getting caught by something crazy with Prochazka and Prochazka just turning it into a chaotic, dirty dog fight. Oh my God. Prediction on a fight like this. Nightmare. I don't know. I'm feeling Khalil right now. I'm not going to go against my initial instinct, which is Khalil finds a way, maybe even a decision, but Prochazka could knock him out. Prochazka could land something that slices Khalil open and then starts to wilt him. The thing is, though, 3-round fight, I feel like Khalil's going to be able to put a decent pace on Prochazka. I think he's going to be able to deal with the chaotic attack. I think the power edge is towards Khalil. The unorthodox style and the deceptive, striking attack that Prochazka has, he could find openings, but Khalil's defense is pretty damn good, man. And I really feel like Khalil has improved near tenfold over recent years. Like the Khalil that fought against Marcin Prachnio some years ago versus the one that went out and just beat Jamal and was in a war with Alex Pereira. I mean, I'm not going to use MMA math, but comparing their performances against Pereira, you would assume, all right, Roundtree has a path here. I'll pick Roundtree. I think Khalil Roundtree can win this fight. And I decided that right now. I didn't decide that before this damn video. None of the picks were decided before the video. Obviously, I had some more clear-cut leans in the other one, but I think Roundtree could be a problem for Yuri Prochazka. I'll be honest with you guys. UFC 320 is looking savage. I'm going to actually bring up UFC 320 on Tapology, and that's why I got myself in full screen here. So UFC 320, from what we know so far, I'm going to bring up the card real quick. We got Ankalaev, Pereira, Merab, Sandhagen, Joe Pyfer, Abus Magomedov, Prochazka, Roundtree, Edmund Shabazian Muniz, and then Macy Chiasson and Yana Santos. Right there, 1, 2, 3. Those 3 fights sell the card. Pyfer and Magomedov's pretty cool as well. Now let's see for UFC 321 what we're looking at as far as the whole card so far. At 321, Volkov Almeida is a savage fight. Rakic and Mirzakhanov is tremendous. Maxim versus Raposo. I think Maxim's going to do bad things to Raposo, and obviously Aspinall and Gane going after it in the main event. Things are looking damn good for this second half of the year. I'm grateful. I'm also going to find some betting odds for Roundtree versus Prochazka. I don't know if they exist yet because the fight was just announced, but I feel like lines are somewhere. I don't see anything. Roundtree versus Prochazka odds. Anybody have odds? See if Reddit has it. No. No, nothing. I can't find betting lines. That disappoints me because I want to see betting lines. I feel like there's underdog potential for Roundtree, but he could end up being a favorite because that performance against Jamal Hill, he looked quite good. calculated in his attack, dangerous in his striking, and just overall an effective performance. Damn, UFC. Damn, Dana White. I appreciate a day like today where we have several high caliber matchups announced. To be honest, every fight that's major today that was announced is pay-per-view worthy. I mean, this is obviously a main event. This is obviously a main event. This could be a main event, but you know, with the bantamweight, sometimes you put them in the co-main. Why not? This right here is a fight night main event if they want it, but instead it's going to be on the pay-per-view. It's disappointing that we don't have 5 rounds though. I would love to have watched 5 rounds of work between Prochazka and Roundtree, just in case it does go to the final bell and we want a more conclusive answer. But a 3-round fight then, you know, makes them both bring it fast because you don't have enough time to find out. There is no heating up process. Just get to work right away. I'm grateful for UFC 320 and 321. The year's looking damn good. We got a top contender fight in the light heavyweight division. I think the winner could fight for the belt. We obviously have Merab here, and then hopefully some news with Umar Nurmagomedov in a high-stakes fight at some point, because I do think he could end up, you know, working his way back into the title picture for sure, and I think he's a champ eventually. If Pereira is able to win, don't be surprised if they try to push him up to the heavyweight division and go for the super fight against Aspinall potentially, because I definitely think there's huge money to be made. And the UFC's like, yo, how many heavyweight super fights have we lost? If we get a chance at Pereira, they're jumping on it ASAP. Aspinall should handle Gane, and if he fucking loses, oh my God, John Jones was right then. I think there's a small percentage chance that Jones comes back. I think he's going to watch. He wants to find a hole in Aspinall's game. If he doesn't find it, he'll stay out. But I definitely think he's interested in getting back in there. Just Dana White now kind of pushing back against John at that press conference saying, you can't rely on John Jones. Betrays John. What a surprise. From the glaze of John to the betrayal of John, 2025 UFC has been a wild ride. And I don't think it gets any less crazy as the year finishes out. I think shit gets more wild by the fucking day, and I'm grateful to have some badass cards in the month of October. October, the month of the fight fan. August, the Contender Series is back. I'm locked in with daily content, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button here. If it's your first time, or if you've maybe watched a few videos or live streams, you haven't hit it yet, you should. Keep it locked in. Turn the post notifications on. You don't want to miss a thing, because I'm doing stuff every single day of the week, all right? W to the people. I love you all. Smash the damn like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love. Peace out.